Hello class. Now today I am going to continue my class on HTML. Last time we had seen how to create a table. Now today I am going to tell you about different attributes that will be related to the table and the different kind of functions that we need to do, or what can be the other things that you can do with a table. Now first of all I am going to tell you about the attributes. Like children, we have seen that whenever we were doing formatting of text, we have seen we could have changed the size, we have changed the length, breadth, we have seen that we can change the color of text. All these can be applied with the tables also. It's nothing that we cannot do wherever you want to apply the function. Like if I want to change the background color of a cell, I need to apply the background color of the inside the tag that is applied. Like if I want to change it for row, I will give tr, bg color is equal to black. So the background of that particular row will change to black. If I want to change for the cell, I will define it inside the td cell. If I want to change it for the headings, I will change it for the headings. Wherever you want to apply the change, you need to apply it inside that particular tag. Firstly, you have to note this. Now, two important things that I am going to talk about today, that is cell padding and cell spacing. Now, these are two important attributes that are defined. Like when I am talking about a table, there are number of attributes. The number of attributes can be, you can be height of the table, then width, then border, then again with the table you can have font colors, many different things can be applied. But here two different are cell spacing and cell padding. Now what is cell padding? For this I need to show you or draw a table. For example, this is my table. I am drawing it very broad so that you can see it. For example, this is my table. Now the difference between two different cells, this is known as cell spacing. And the distance that you leave inside the cell before writing the text, this difference is known as cell padding. The difference between two adjacent cells is known as cell spacing, and the distance inside the cell and the character or the text written is known as cell padding. By default, the value of cell padding and cell spacing is 2. By default, it is 2. Otherwise, you can change it according to the table that you want to create, according to your visualization, according to the question given. You please keep this in mind. Every time in the board exams, we get one questions related to tables, where these things are only applied and the child needs to analyze, view and see how that table is to be created, how it is to be changed. Now height width, as I have not discussed images, as it will go with images, it will be going here also. It is defined, height and width can be defined either in pixels or it can be defined in percent. Pixels, how many pixels height shows the width. Height shows the length and width shows the thickness of the image. Length, height will show length and width will show the breadth of the table or the image that is being used. The percentage factor tells us how much percentage of the page will be covered with this height or with this table along the length and along the width. If I give pixels, it will be matched to the number of pixels. Now I am going to talk about row span and column span. Now the span words tell you about mixing. For example, if I am creating this table, this is my table. What is happening basically? Here in this particular column, all the rows are merged. Here, as you can see, two columns are merged. So if I am merging number of rows, this will be known as row span, because the width of particular or all the rows, one row is spanning to many, and if I am merging the columns, it is known as col span. Now I am going to tell you how to apply this. So this is my diagram, and if I want to create the same thing, as we know, when I am creating a table, I have to start it with the table tag. My table tag has started. Now I have to create one row. So first of all, table, then tr. Okay. Now in that tr, as soon as I have created, now what I am saying is that I am applying row span from first to last. So what is the value of row span coming? 1, 2, 3. So I will write tr row span is equal to 3. Then as soon as I have done this, it will tell me that my row will be spanned, it will be coming to 3. What I am going to do next is, I am going to write td. Then in the same row, I am seeing col span 2. I will be writing here for example, let me write here something. For example, I am writing here A, B, C, D, E and F. So tr row span is equal to 3, and now this is again it's coming with td, so I will be writing here span A. Slash td, then I will write here td col span is equal to 2 b and td. This is done for one row. Now when I will create next row, I will see that I am having only two values, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I will be writing here, as soon as I start, I will write tr td c slash td td d slash td slash tr. In the same way, the next row will be created, tr slash tre td slash td and td f slash td slash tr. This is how your table will be created. I hope you are able to understand this. if you practice this on system, I think you will be easily understanding what are the attributes and how we are going to do this. Please open your systems and start making web pages that will help you how to work on HTML, and this will tell you how we will be working or creating web pages. Now children, one important thing that is left in insertion or in the components of a page, that is your image. Now as we know that a picture says something more than 100 words can do. Means a picture, showing a picture and showing 100 words or saying 100 words related to something is equivalent. I can explain you something more with a picture than writing words. That's why we are having this video. Otherwise I would have sent you text. So text can never replace images or pictures. So in a web page also it's very important that we use pictures. So how we are going to do it? When I am inserting a picture on a web page, it can be done in two ways. First, using it as background. And second thing is using it as an element on page. These are two ways how we can insert images. So if I am using it as a background, where should I insert it? Think. We know from where do we set backgrounds? We set it from the body tag. So if anyone asks you that if I want to insert an image at the background, which tag will be used? Please write the body tag. Because here we are going to use body tag along with the background attribute. Then only the image will be coming as a background. So how will we use it? We will write body background is equal to, and then the name of the image. This is equal to, for example, img6.jpg. This is how we will be setting it as a background. This is one thing. Another thing is when I am using it as the element on the page. So now I am going to tell you how to insert image as an element. To insert an image as an element, I am going to use the img tag. Now this img tag is an empty element. You have to remember that this is what? This is a empty element. Do you know what is an empty element? That doesn't have a closing tag. The elements that don't have a closing tag are known as empty elements. Moreover, they do not contain any value inside. Here you will be seeing it. So this image tag is not sufficient. Here one more important attribute comes, that is src. Src tells us the source. Now what actually it is doing? It is just having the source. It is not having the image from where the image has to be implemented. So how we are going to do it? We are going to do it like image src is equal to, now here when you insert an image, many times it happens that the image is not linked when you are working and you have a problem. The reason is that whenever you give directly the name, for example, if I write here rose.jpg, what happens? When I am doing this, as we are writing this in a notepad, it searches for this image only in the C drive. Now, maybe you have placed this image in D drive. So you need to give the complete path. So you will be copying the path of the image, or you will be writing imgsrc is equal to d:/d:/new folders /rose.jpg. So what you will be doing, you will be writing the complete path for inserting it properly. I hope it is clear. Now let's talk about various attributes of the image tag. So what are attributes? Can I ask you at the moment? Please think that what are the attributes. See, attributes are properties that are related to that tag. You have to keep this in mind. I cannot have size attribute with you can say I cannot have size attribute with image. Why? Because size is defined with text. So attributes are always related to the tag that I am using. So if I am using the img tag has many attributes, like first one, as I have told you, src, height, width, border, alignment, then what else it can have? Many more. So if I am seeing these are the attributes, I have told you what is src, height you know, weight you know, border, whether you want a border or not. If I am talking about, you can have border color, you can have alignment. Now here with alignment there is one important thing to note, that is when I want to apply left and right alignment, this will go like this: image src align is equal to left, but center doesn't work with the image tag. So if I want to apply it to center, what I need to do is, I am going to close this and I am going to use center tag. So this is how we apply center alignment with this. Two more attributes we can use here is vspace and hspace. Now what are vspace and hspace? Vspace means the space below the image or up the image, top or bottom, that we are leaving vertically before putting another element. And horizontal space means the space that we want to leave before putting any element inside. Is it clear? Okay. Now after this I am going to talk about one more element, that are your links. Now what are your links? Links are means text that will lead you, that will take you to another page. So for inserting links we have here three different tags that we use, or I should say, yes, three things that we will be using: link, a link and v link. See children, these are attributes of the body tag. When I am defining the body and I need to insert links, so a link shows the color of the link on a web page. We all know that on a web page or anywhere, if I need to show a link, it is always shown in blue color. But if I need to change it to green, how will I do it? I will write here, it will be written body link is equal to green. Now this statement will change the color of links on my page to green. A link stands for active link, the link that is being opened. So active link, everyone knows it's red. If I want, I can change it to black. So if I do it, the color of the link on the page will change to black. And V is the visited link. The visited links are purple in color, but if I want, I can change this color to pink by this statement. Is it clear to everyone? This is all for today's class. In the next class, I am going to tell you about how we are going to link pages and create a website from individual web pages that we have learned to create. Thank you.